Hello and welcome to another episode of Hidden Video Game Details. In today's video we free Billy in Goat Simulator 3, we finally find out why Louis stood up Ada in Resident Evil 4, and we have some very strange dreams in Death Stranding 2. As always, if you think you know of a hidden detail or Easter egg that I haven't covered before, then let me know in the comments. And if you do enjoy these videos, then leaving a like is really appreciated. Anyway, without further delay, let's get started. Right, let's begin today's video with Goat Simulator 3. Now, Goat Simulator 3 is full of strange quests, and perhaps one of the strangest quests is freeing Billy. Billy is a whale who is trapped in his tiny enclosure at the zoo, and you're meant to take him to the ocean to be with his family. Here's the thing, when you finally reach the ocean with Billy in tow, this will happen. So Billy's freedom is short-lived, as he's swallowed by an even bigger whale before the big family reunion. Well, that might not be entirely true. You see, you too can be eaten by the whale, and once you're inside the whale's rather large stomach, you can find this. So it turns out that Billy's family were also swallowed by the whale, as we can find Billy, Waylene, Billy Jr. and Willie inside the whale's stomach. Obviously, this whole quest is a reference to the 1993 movie Free Willy, so it's nice to see Willie himself make an appearance. I mean, they could have reunited under different circumstances, but at least they're together. Now, I've been getting teabagged since 2004. No, not like that. What I mean is, that was when Halo 2 released, and I actually learned what teabagging means. Of course, teabagging isn't just a Halo thing. It's something that's done in loads of different games, and that includes Splitgate 2. Now, some of you may remember that in the first Splitgate, you could teabag your enemies and the crowd would react to your testicle-dropping antics. They would boo if you teabagged when winning, and cheer if you teabagged when losing. Well, the teabagging in Splitgate 2 is different. Instead of fans cheering your testicles, now there is a chance that this will happen. So I haven't edited this clip at all. If you crouch in Splitgate 2, there is a chance that your character will fart. And I don't know about you, but I think that's pretty funny. Apparently, the odds of this happening are around 1 in 100, but I had to spend a long time dropping my nads until I finally heard it. So a couple of videos back, we discovered a man hiding in a bin in Clair Obscur Expedition 33. The reason that the man was hiding was that he had just turned 33 on the very day that all 33-year-olds were going to be killed. Talk about bad luck. Now, some of you might be thinking that a bin isn't the most effective of hiding places. But what if I told you that it was? At the end of the game, you can revisit the bin and see how the man is getting on.
Actually, I am gamaging like everyone else. Looks like my plan didn't work. During my time in this trash can, I found a rare treasure. I am entrusting it to you now. Farewell.
Okay, so I lied. The bin isn't a great hiding place and the man is now gone. But he did leave a note behind explaining that even though he still had to die, he did find a rare treasure that he has left to you. Farewell, bin man, you may not have been brave, but you were generous. Now, since it released almost 2 months ago, I've been steadily finding all I can in Doom the Dark Ages. But with this last detail, I think we might be done with Doom Guy's latest adventure. Oh, and be warned, this detail does contain spoilers for Doom the Dark Ages. So if you want to skip this part, go to the time on screen now. So I've already shared how you can change the little Doom Guy avatar at the bottom of the screen. You could choose either the regular modern look or the more stylish retro look, depending on your preference. Well, there is a certain part in the Dark Ages where Doom Guy is dead, hence the earlier spoiler warning. Anyway, the avatar will now reflect Doom Guy's current state of being, that being dead as a doornail. Again, the retro zombie style does look better, but it's a nice detail whichever avatar you choose. Speaking of games that I thought I'd covered everything there was to cover, up next is Resident Evil 4 Remake. Now, we have already played the Separate Ways DLC in this series before, where we heard the sounds of Ashley crying when near the church. Well, this next separate ways detail can also be found near the church, but this time you need to have a very keen eye. You see, the reason that Ada is at the church is to meet with Luis, though he doesn't show. Now, it's never explained why Luis didn't make the meeting, but given the crazed villagers on the prowl, you can probably guess why. Well, you no longer need to guess, as you can actually see what happened to Luis in a cutscene. Here, take a look and see if you can spot the man himself.
Stood up again. Sounds like he could use a little help.
So, did you see him? I mean, I wouldn't blame you if you didn't. If you look right here when Ada lands on the church roof, you can see Luis in a sack being moved by a villager. Now, I don't know about you, but I think this is awesome. I mean, no one would have said anything if Luis just didn't turn up, but the fact that Capcom made sure to show what actually happened to him is just brilliant. So despite being a classic, Goldeneye 64 hasn't aged particularly well. I mean sure, the Xbox release did clear up some of the issues, mainly with the controls, but it's still not as good as you remember it. Probably. Saying that, there is a secret mechanic in GoldenEye 64 that did really impress me. Here is how your aim looks in-game when standing still. And to be honest, it's not that interesting. Well, take a look at how steady your aim is after a quick jog. So after a longish sprint, Bond will become tired, which will affect his aim. Remember, this is a game from 1997, so to have tiredness play a part in Bond's aim is pretty damn impressive. Right, let's end today's video with the excellent Death Stranding 2. Yes, I did just say excellent. You see, I wasn't a fan of the first Death Stranding. To be honest, I just didn't get it. Well, the sequel fixes a lot of the first game's issues, so much so that it makes the first game feel like a tech demo. There are so many quality of life improvements in this game that if, like me, you weren't keen on the first, may be enough to change your mind. Anyway, in typical Hideo Kojima fashion, there are loads of secrets to find, but the first can be found by taking a nap. If you leave Sam idle for long enough, he will take a well-earned break and fall asleep. Though after a certain point in the game, he will do this. So Sam will dream of Lou, his baby. It's sweet, but also kind of creepy. Sam's not creepy, I mean the floating baby is creepy. I'm sure there's going to be loads more cool things to find in Death Stranding 2, and to be honest, I can't wait to find them. So that's it. If you know of any cool things in games that you think I should check out, then please leave them down in the comments. Big or small, obvious or not obvious, if I think it's cool, I'll include it in the video and of course credit you like these people here. Remember, we are trying to reach 1 million subscribers, hopefully by the end of this year, so if you haven't already, please consider subscribing and helping me out. As always, thank you all for watching, and I'll speak to you all soon.